Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be building some Grey Knights. Specifically, I'll be building the Grey Knight Strike Squad, and painting them in the end, so stay tuned. Let's do this. So first, here are the 10 bases for the models, the 4 sprue racks that have all the pieces to build the models, and it comes with a lot of extras, so it should last a while. And then the instructions, which I didn't follow at all. And here are the 4 different squads you can do. You can do the Strike Squad, the Purifier Squad, the Purgation Squad, and the Interceptor Squad. And on the right side it shows you how to build. First, I'm cutting out some legs. And now an arm. Now I'm cutting out the back piece of the torso. And now here's the front piece of the torso. And now here I'm cutting out the head. It comes with plenty of choices of pieces, so do whatever you want. And now right here I'm scraping and cutting off the sprue tabs. Be very careful with this part because it can be very dangerous. Especially when you're using a sharp hobby knife like I am right here. I almost cut my finger off one time. And now I'm scraping the sprue tabs off of the breastplate. And now I'm gluing them on together with some Tamiya extra thin plastic cement. This stuff basically welds the 2 pieces together. And now I'm gluing the body onto the legs. Now I'm gluing the weapon onto the arms. For this I chose a big broadsword. And now I'm gluing on the shoulder pads and the head. Here I'm gluing on the shoulder pads. Now here's the finished model. So here are all of the 10 built and ready to be painted. These are super cool models. Definitely worth getting. And here first, so I primed it black with just a spray can of black paint. And now I'm using Leadbelcher to paint the main base coat of the armor. And for this, I'm basically doing a really heavy dry brush all over the model. And make sure to get into all the nooks and crannies because we don't want to miss anything. Now here it is finished with all of the Leadbelcher on, and it looks great. So now I'm applying a thick coat of Drakenhof Nightshade all over across the model to give it kind of that bluish gray effect. And you don't really have to be careful with this step, just slap it on everywhere. And for this, now we are adding some gold to all of the gold detailing, especially the letters and the armor and some skulls. And for this I'm using a very small detail brush, perfect for doing very little details. So now I'm just finishing up all the gold trim and details, and it's looking really good. Now I'm using some corn red for all the red details and for the main body armor of the gun. And I'm still using that very small detailed brush, for it works really well for these models. And then I use that same red and color the shoulder pad to add some more contrast and color to the model. Now I'm using some Belshazzar gold for all of the copper details. Right now I'm painting the gas canister on the flamethrower. Now I'm using a mixture of Vallejo Model Colors Buff and Vallejo Model Colors Flat Brown. And you want a lot more of the buff than brown, only a small amount of the brown. And this mixture we're using for all of the paper details on the model, including all the books, purity seals, and stuff like that. And now I'm using that mixture and just covering all of the paper details. Now I'm using the corn red again and mixing it with Vallejo Model Colors Purple. And this mixture we're going to use for the purity seals, the wax parts. And now I'm putting it onto all the purity seals, and it looks really good. And then after that, I'm using the same mixture, but with a little more of that Vallejo Model Color Buff. And this is going to be just an edge highlight on all of the purity seals, to make it stand out a little more. And now I'm using some Agrax Earthshade, and for this I'm using on all of the gold and metallics. This really helps it stand out more, especially on the letters. You can see them a lot clearly. Now I'm using that same Agrax Earthshade for all of the paper. And now for those gluing blue eyes, I'm going to use some Macrage blue, and we're going to apply that on the eyes very carefully. And there's the model done. And now we're on to the base. First, I'm using some Sterling Mud technical paint. You can choose any technical paint you want, but I thought I would like an earthy, dirty base for these guys. And I'm just applying a very thick coat all around the base, stippling it on even. And now I'm using that same mixture from earlier that we used for the paper and applying a very light dry brush across the whole base. Really lets that stand out, all of those little details. And it adds a lot more depth to the character. And now I'm using some Abaddon Black and going to clean up all the edges of the base. This gives it a really nice crisp look and it looks great on the table. And now I'm applying some grass tufts to finish the whole thing off. And it gives it a lot more realistic look. And there it is. That's how you paint Grey Knights. It looks great. Please subscribe, leave a like, and thanks for watching.